Live from the chicken wing capital of the world, Buffalo, New York. You're listening to the Childcare Bridge podcast, your source for the best tips, tools, and tactics on how to market and grow your childcare center, ensuring total domination. Total domination. This is the Childcare Bridge, and this is your host, Michael Tasner.
If I were to ask you to tell me what your childcare brand is, could you give me a short, concise answer? In today's episode of the Childcare Bridge, I wanted to unpack the concept, the strategy, the tactic around branding. And one of the things that I do not like about this industry is that most childcare centers have not put the time, the energy into building brand. Brand would be something that you have that's recognizable, something that people think of when they think of your particular category. So if they think of childcare in your area, they think of what? Now, if you look at the opposite of childcare, I wouldn't say it's the polar opposite, but let's use pizza as an example. There's a difference of all of these dozens and dozens of pizza places having a brand name and something like Pizza Hut or Papa John's, for example. Now, not to say that their pizza is far superior by any means than local places, but they have built brand. They've built it in the sense of if you were to walk into another city, if you were to go into another area, you might go to Google, instead of typing in something like pizza near me, you might type in Pizza Hut near me. They get to a place where that brand becomes recognizable, that brand is embedded in their minds. Franchises are extremely good at doing this. They're really, really good at building brand. And one of the biggest things that you get with a franchise and buying into that particular package is brand. Goddard has built a solid brand. Children's Lighthouse, Primrose, Kids Are Kids. They've started to build up really recognizable brands, and they stand for certain things. But when I start to go down to a smaller level and we look at a local level, the brand aspect is so fragmented that I can't even figure out who's who stands for what. So an environment that is already crowded with like-minded childcare centers, how do you actually stand out? And we've talked about going through your list of here's how you're different and playing out those factors, but the easiest way is to stop what you're doing and to kind of pause your efforts and say, okay, great. Is what we're doing now from a marketing standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, is it helping us build our brand? Yes or no? Are we getting our name out with our brand, our reputation? Do people now know what we stand for? Now, before you're able to embark on this journey, there's a little bit of pre-work. And I would argue that the pre-work is just as important as going through this process of getting your brand out there. I'm going to talk through all of this for you. Challenging aspect around brand is that most centers are not necessarily identical, but they didn't take the time in that first step, which is name, and to actually unpack it, to actually think 5 or 10 years ahead. Now, if you're looking at staying at a one location center and a smaller center, so to me, smaller is anything less than 75 enrollments, I would argue that while brand is still very important, it's much more important if you're going to open up location 2, 3, 4, 5 and expand. It's even more important if you decide to license and or even franchise your model, which a lot of centers are now starting to do. I'm seeing a lot more smaller centers that maybe have 5 or 10 locations start to franchise their model. Franchising is very expensive, but if you have a really great product and a great brand, you can leverage that. So step one is to actually look at your name. And almost every single time, if you were to say, Michael, here's the name of my center, what do you think? I'm going to tell you that you need to rebrand and rename your center. The reason behind that is that most childcare centers are named something almost identical. I could tell you that there are probably 1,000 plus ABC academies. Just one small example. So if you're ABC Academy and you're located in Des Moines, Iowa, and you've got a couple locations and you're looking at expanding, the challenge, if there are 1,000 other ABC Academies all across the United States, is that no one is ever going to be able to then fully own that brand. The likelihood that you're going to be able to add some layers of protection, which is trademarks, for example, copyrights, is slim to none because it's already in what is called kind of the public domain. I want you to do some thinking to see, is the name of your center something that is unique, something that actually stands for what you are trying to convey to your prospects, to families, to the community? Is it showing who you are? Does it actually mean something where it's not just your local childcare center, your local preschool? Now, branding exercises can be a bit expensive. So the things that I'm sharing in this episode, I'm going to cater more to people that are looking at opening more locations, but you want to make sure that you're dialing this in before you start to get too big. Because then if the cost, let's say you were to open 5 ABC Academies and realize, well, geez, there's a ton of other ABC Academies, even some that are in a different part of the state. You're going to have to rebrand signs, paperwork, like it's not a small task. We just worked with the center that just completely rebranded 10 locations. I mean, it was a 6-figure plus endeavor, if not more. And you might be thinking, well, Michael, like what's the point? I've got our name. The point is, if you start to think about how people are searching, things over the next couple of years are going to be very, very fragmented. Right now, Google controls search. People are going to Google, they're typing in preschool near me, daycare near me, pre-K, after-school program, summer camp. That's where they're going. That's where the searches are being done. Now, searches are starting to move on platforms like ChatGPT. Now, right now, it's a small percentage. But to me, AI and all of these other engines are where mobile marketing was 10, 15 years ago. Like, this is where you can now strike before the iron really gets hot. If you want to start to plant some seeds now, you grab that market share, you need brand. Well, Michael, I still don't get it. Well, what I'm trying to convey to you is that a engine like ChatGPT, it's going to start to look and favor brand. It's going to show who some of the more recognizable brands are in that particular community. Brand. If you've built a brand, people are leaving comments and calling out your brand name on all these different social platforms. You've got strong reviews, an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. You start to build that brand aspect where parents don't say it's just a great preschool or a great academy. They say XYZ preschool is the best thing ever. You start to build that brand aspect so that it becomes more recognizable, to where people go and walk into a new community and they start to search out a brand name. One of the easiest ways to see how much brand equity you have is to look at your Google Search Console and see how many people are searching for your exact center name versus keywords like preschool near me, daycare, etc. If your brand is at the top and it's like 100 times to 1, then you definitely have some brand equity to build on. If the traffic is non-existent and no one is searching for your actual brand by name, you've got some work to do. So if I circle back, step one is really doing a naming exercise to make sure that the name you have is unique. The name that you have is something that is also trademarkable. I will not name a business something that I am not 100% certain I can secure a trademark on. Trademark is valuable. It allows you to lock other centers out, so there's no confusion. And I can tell you that confusion happens all the time. We flag reviews at the centers that we work with every single day. People leave reviews on the centers that we work with, and they're actually referring to a different center that has the exact same name. Well, no, you are referring to this one. We're not even located in this city, but you commented on our Google business profile. Name something that is meaningful, that can stand the test of time with trademarks, with intellectual property, that can grow. And that, again, I'm oversimplifying. I could do 10 hours on how to name a center. Maybe I'll do a whole course on that. It's, I guess, another idea. But that is kind of step one. Step two is, okay, well, how do you then get that brand out there? So if you go to Search Console and you're not seeing your brand search that often, that to me tells you need to actually get out in the community. You need to start doing more local events. You need to be showing up at the local Chamber of Commerce events, the different fairs that are taking place. You need to be running advertisements on the radio, on YouTube, all the social platforms with your brand. And they don't have to be direct response ads that say, now enrolling, now enrolling, now enrolling. Brand ads that we run all the time, these are ads that are often just running in the background that are planting seeds in prospects' minds and even our customers' minds. They're not even saying now open unless it's a brand new location. It's simply talking about how you're serving the community since whatever, 1950, for example, like whatever those brand promises are, the things that you stand by. We're running 30-second, 60-second videos all the time, sponsoring them so that we know people in the communities that we're going after are seeing these. And we can literally look at that and say, okay, great, we invested $1,000 last month on this. I can go and see in Google Search Console a direct correlation literally almost instantly that the search traffic starts to rise. You need to be running some ads. You need to be investing money around your brand name. People need to also have that experience. Like they know when you walk into a McDonald's, you know what you're going to get. When you walk into Pizza Hut, you know you're going to get average pizza or Domino's or whatever, but they have the brand aspect. So I know this episode, this content, it was a little bit different, but when I'm starting to look at the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, artificial intelligence is going to literally disrupt everything. Is childcare still going to be around? 100%. Do I envision more personalized one-on-one childcare and preschool and curriculum due to AI and leveraging those tools? 100%. Could teachers become somewhat irrelevant? 100%. How do I stay ahead of that curve? Not only by starting to leverage and invest in AI, but I want to build brand. Brand is that one aspect that is highly valuable that no one can take away from you, that allows you to build that moat around your centers. It's that thing that you're always going to have. So my action steps for you today. Number one, I want you to really do an audit over the next 30 days around your brand, your name. Is it something that's trademarkable? And is it an exercise that you feel you need to start to embark on? Yeah, we've kind of neglected that a little bit. We really don't have a brand. We really don't know what we stand for. We don't have our values. We don't have certain colors. And there's a lot more to branding than just a logo and a name, but how you're making people feel. Number two, I want you to audit and look at Google Search Console to see where are you starting with? What's your baseline? Do you have a lot of searches? Yes or no? And then number three, I want you to start to invest some money into ads and advertising that are just branding. Proud to serve the community, serving the community since this particular date. X amount of kids served. Congratulations to the class of 2025 graduates. Hope they have an amazing time in first grade, for example, or kindergarten, whatever. I mean, it's you continuing to put that out, and there's no call to action, but your brand is there. Michael's Preschool wants to congratulate all of our pre-K graduates this year that are going to be going to kindergarten next year. It's amazing to serve you. We've been serving the community since this time. Thank you so much. Boom, done. And I might throw $500 on radio and have radio ads run 5 days in a row at a 30-second spot. I'll be running some video ads in tandem, some Facebook posts in tandem, sponsoring those. Branding is equity. It allows you to build more goodwill, and that's how you start to have your name be more recognizable on the mommy groups, for example, and the parenting groups, where people start to search you by name rather than by what you can do. So rather than preschool near me, Michael's Preschool. Where's the closest Michael's Preschool, for example? Get out there, get your brand moving in the right direction so you can be ahead of the curve, ahead of all the changes that are rapidly coming. Michael Tazer signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.